Know where your customers are. Where are they hanging out online, and also in physical venues, and be where they are. So that means you don't have to, for instance, in social media, be everywhere. You don't have to be on Twitter and Pinterest and LinkedIn and Facebook. Be where your customers are going to be and communicate with them there and communicate consistently. I think that would be my top thing. And same thing for the physical venues, really. Understand where those kind of customers, especially with B2B, are hanging out, and make sure you're at those events and participating and engaging.
What are your personal top platforms that work the best for you?
Right. Well, we are in the world of technology, so I think for us, Twitter is definitely our top platform in terms of social media, and LinkedIn is also very key.
Never stop networking and never stop pushing, because it's easy to give up when everybody around you, your influences, are telling you you can't do it. You have to be around positive people who've been where you want to go, and then just push on, because you never know when one thing's going to lead to a big breakthrough in your business. I have a partner here who actually I'd never met, but she's an integral part of my business. She lives in Maine. I live in Dallas. We work our business together through the power of today's technology. Met her today at Icon, but she's an indispensable part of my business, and I met her during the dark times when I was advertising on Craigslist. So you never know when and she's actually led me to other opportunities within my business. So always wake up with a positive attitude, because today could be the day that you get your breakthrough, and you never know when that's going to be, and you might not know it's been a breakthrough until it's actually happened. So stay positive, stay focused, and always keep your goals in front of you.
Why so much resistance about Twitter, and how can it really help a small business?
Well, I think there's a lot of resistance to Twitter because it just moves so fast. If you don't know the lingo, hashtags, and stuff like that, it can look like a foreign language. But let me tell you something. Twitter is the best thing that ever happened to small business owners because of a couple reasons. Number one, you are able to actually engage with people personally. It does move so fast. You can get instant feedback on your ideas, pricing, packaging, and the best thing about Twitter is you can listen to your competitors or your customers, and they don't even know you're listening. So those are my top 3 reasons why Twitter is where it's at for small business owners.
Hey everybody, Deborah Shane here. I'm roaming around Icon 14, and I don't know how I did this. I don't know how I pulled it off, but I'm here with Clayton Mask, who is the CEO and founder of Infusionsoft, and of course the Icon 14 conference that I'm at. Thank you so much for having me.
You bet, you bet.
You know, you talked about some things in our media orientation about the dark side of entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
And really what I wanted to ask you was, in those early days when you went through those dark times of entrepreneurship, I want to know specifically what you did personally to get you through those moments and propel you forward, and how any entrepreneur can do the same thing.
You bet. I think it's important for people to understand that for 3 years the company just completely struggled. Today people might see, oh, you have venture capital and you have investors and you have all those things, but we bootstrapped the company for many, many years before we raised capital. And in the early years, those first 3 years were just brutally tough. And we understand entrepreneurship and small business for having gone through it. And it wasn't the first time, by the way. We had also done little side businesses and other things. But this time we were really going through it, and everything was on the line. And about 2 years into the struggle, all of my training and education, and I'd been to 8 years of college. I had all of this learning that I thought was going to translate into success, and it just wasn't. And I was frustrated, and I was hurt, and I was dealing with all of the darkness and the skepticism and the doubts of people I cared about and that I love and loved me, and we were just struggling, and we were struggling mightily. Like every day was just a survival of, are we gonna, is this thing gonna all, go away? And so there were a couple of things that happened that were critical. The first thing was I got totally broken down and humbled to the point that my education was not something that I could lean on. My own devices, I realized they just weren't enough. I just got totally humbled. And so the humbling reminded me of something that my dad used to always talk about, and what he talked about all the time was, he said, it's all about your attitude. He was a big positive mental attitude guy, and as a teenager, I was like, whatever, you know. And I went through 8 years of college, kind of getting all of that beaten out of me, that it was really more about what you know and all of that. It's not. It's actually, your mind is everything, but it's not about what you know. It's about how you deal with everything. And so the first big thing that happened was I got humbled to the point that I was able to remember what my dad told me as a teenager. And in particular, he talked all the time about positive thinking. And I remembered that he told me over and over that I should read this book called The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. And on a certain plane trip, I got a hold of that book and I read it, and it just totally struck me and lit me up. And I realized that I was losing the battle in my mind. The second thing that happened that was really critical was I was seeing success of others, and I was doing what I thought was going to bring us success, and I realized we're not having that success. And so I need to be willing to change our techniques and our tactics. And we became very, very open to marketing, to learning small business marketing, direct marketing. And that, the combination of learning marketing, developing a marketing mindset, and developing the power of positive thinking. Those are the two things that helped us get out of the dark days. And it wasn't immediate. It took us several months. But by about 2.5 or 3 years into our business, things started to really change, and we were able to overcome it. So it really is about mindset in those early days. And the power of positive thinking and the marketing mindset are critical drivers to helping entrepreneurs get out of those dark days.
Tishan Donkersley with AZ Tech Beat. How are you doing today? And welcome to Icon 14.
Thank you so much. I'm so delighted to be here. I'm so glad I met you, because I really wanted someone to talk about the really top tech trends happening this year and how they're playing out with small businesses.
Oh, this is so true. Well, the main thing with small businesses is about cloud computing and getting all that information up into the cloud, and also keeping it secure. So that leads me into my second trend, which is about privacy and security. With all of the holes that we've seen in the systems with Heartbleed, we've seen with some different security measures, some hacking. It's really important to keep your and your customers' information safe. So that's the second one. And on the fun side, I would say wearables are the third one. And it's keeping people fit, keeping them active, keeping them in tow with their 2014 fitness goals, and it also gives them good information about their health. So those are the top 3 trends that I'm seeing.
My friend Ramon Ray,
Hey,
who
Deborah.
is part of Infusionsoft now, and smallbiztechnology.com. Hi, Ramon.
Hey, Deborah, how you doing?
Ramon, I am doing fantastic. I'm having a great time.
Awesome.
Thanks to you recommending that I should
Absolutely.
be here. So, Ramon, let's talk about the wow and the how.
Absolutely. Infusionsoft has a principle called life cycle marketing, which is made up of attract, sell, and wow. Part of the wow is after the sale, after the customer buys from you, getting them to come back again and again and again and buy again. How we recommend people can wow their customers is a few ways. One simple way is just thank you cards. A handwritten note, a thank you card to say thank you for buying from me. That's point 1. Point 2, we have some people that put a lottery ticket in each invoice so that you want to open the invoice, and it's kind of a thank you for giving us your money. So those are 2 simple ways you can wow your customers to get them to come back to you again and again and again and again.
Sending out the cherry pie recipes, and here are the days of sending out, this is what the information means to you, this is how you can make the best decision for your family.
So, how has Facebook really been a great social media tool for real estate professionals?
Facebook's huge. By far the number 1 social media platform out there. We've always known that you want to meet your clients where they're at, and everybody knows that the individual people, the buyers and sellers, they're going to be on Facebook. Having a strong Facebook presence as a real estate professional, vitally important. And again, going back to my first point, you need to make sure that you're sharing information that is great for the consumer and not just your listing.
Ways for them to leverage PR and have some quick wins without having to worry about hiring somebody full-time or going out and hiring a full-time PR agency to help them. I think the first thing to think about is, where do our customers or the types of audiences that we want to influence hang out? So if you get a majority of your business locally, I think a great place to start is to evaluate what are the top media in my local market. Is it the Business Journal? Is it TV stations? Are there certain blogs covering local news? Are there industry type bloggers in our area? And start trying to forge relationships with those people. Start subscribing to their blogs, reading their papers, visiting their website, and find out what types of stories are these journalists or writers covering, and how can I tie into a trend locally? Can I be a thought leader on a particular topic? So maybe it's tax season and I'm an accountant. Maybe I pitch all the local TV stations on coming in and doing a tax tip segment for local small businesses in the areas to be more efficient as they process their taxes. So if you're a local small business and you get a lot of your customers through local marketing efforts, I think tying PR, looking at the media in the area and figuring out a way to plug yourself into that is a great opportunity for small businesses.
The power of the software is brought to our businesses, so our ability to grow and nurture our relationship with our customers and to build trust and authority with them over time that is built upon giving good quality content and genuinely helping them and putting processes into our business that ask for referrals and make sure that the customer experience that we're working with them to help them receive is up and above their expectations.
Deborah Shane roaming around Icon 14 meeting some awesome professionals. I'm here with Justin Roberts, who's one of the Infusionsoft experts. So Justin, let's talk about mining, how the application helps the small business to mine new leads, but more importantly, convert them.
Yeah, absolutely. So Infusionsoft is really good at, you're talking about mining, getting those leads in, but after we've actually gotten those leads into Infusionsoft, setting up a process so that we can convert the most leads possible. So we put them into what we call an opportunity or a sales pipeline, where we start at the very top with a new opportunity, and we help to qualify them to the point where eventually we get that sale, we get to win that lead. But what Infusionsoft helps us to do is structure that. And so we've got certain checkpoints that we're going to have as we go through the process that are going to help us to determine those people that are qualified versus those people that aren't.
Infusionsoft customers, apart from most entrepreneurs in the world, is a combination of a few things. Specifically, an undying belief that they will succeed, and just a conviction that they will succeed, and they have a growth mentality and a mindset. Secondly, when that falters, they look for mentors and people they can associate with. Entrepreneurship is one of the loneliest professions in the world, and the pride in the entrepreneur typically inhibits them from reaching out to other people and looking for help and bouncing ideas off of people. So the best entrepreneurs that are really successful, our customers, reach out in networking groups and peer associations, and sometimes just one person. They need that thought partner to make sure that works.